Hello boys, my name is Koyoshi and welcome back to potentially one of the last bonus episodes of my blind playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that is probably going to be happened. Let's talk about what happened off screen first. In the last video, we finished off the rest of the red challenge battles. These are the Tane attack battles. We did every single individual effect. Almost as rank except Hero's Frontline. Little hint, I just kind of used Lucky 7. I got bored. If I find that this next strategy is not going to work, I might have to use it again. But honestly, you probably don't need Lucky 7 for this next part. In fact, Heaven might actually hurt a lot. One thing I am going to do, since I don't know if... Oh, that's right, you cannot right, you don't have a default art set list. I was thinking of actually changing Final Countdown for Element Genesis, because the other strategy involves using a Seraph class, which is the other strongest class of the game. It uses Mental Genesis, but it would kind of mess this up. Anyways, I've been kind of theorizing in my head how to do this expert challenge. I know it's only normal difficulty and not hard mode, but it's still going to feel very hard. What's funny is the S rank simply requires you to get to stage 70 or higher, but there are 140 total stages, so we're gonna try and beat them all. What else can I say? So there's a very specific strategy that has to be used here. If you do not set this up properly, there's a chance that you might just lose right away. Now, the first couple of failures are honestly not that bad. It doesn't really get difficult to fail after you. However, after you cross 70, which is around that mark, it starts to get really stupidly old, and you'll see that this is one of the longest setups in the game. So we're just going to try and go through it as fast as possible. Okay, perfect. We got Masher early. With the rights, essentially with this strat, we're going to try and get... I initially changed it to be somewhat different, but I kind of edited it throughout the series and kind of changed it up a bit. One of my older strategies actually went for Monica and other characters early, but I've kind of changed the strategy to be more Kevzy focused. So the idea is we want to build up a big, strong Kevzy team for as much stuff as possible. So the first thing that already happened. We want Riku or Manana right off the bat. And I'm going to take my regular safety, which is Xeon. I have basically two different versions of strategies that I attempt. The first strategy involves getting one healer and one tank at the start, because otherwise you're going to struggle with the later stages. The other strategy involves just getting both of my healers early, but this time around though, I do have a preset route, so if I see any of the heroes I need, I'm going to immediately buy them. And you'll see why I picked them in a minute. But this round is really long, so we're gonna have to do some really big shenanigans to get through it. This first is probably just going to be a test of stuff. I'm actually gonna shuffle this. There's one particular one you want, and that's... Okay, honestly, I'll take it. My base is not that good early on, but I want to have at least one to make sure I don't die later. So pretty much the change with the strategy is this now heavily revolves around having money base. We basically need it active. If we do not have it active, then we are just going to struggle with doing anything. I skipped a Curse to Recharge there because that is good. This is good. Let's buy that. So the idea is we're going to focus on the purple badges first. We want to get as many of them as we can. However, heroes are very rare and can be very hard to find. So if we see a hero, which we found Nia, which is actually perfect luck, amazingly enough, I want to get that right away. The reason why you want to have Masha and Mia is because their heals are almost kind of required. Considering they're the strongest healers in the game, you're definitely going to want them, like, very early on. That was kind of a waste of higher enemy value there. And then from here, we're just kind of going for our heal sap. So, I'll kind of give you a hint. We are trying to get Kevzy's heal active. So, we are going to have at least 2 or 3 of the Kevzy. There it is. But we're also trying to get a few other things while we're doing at it. Couldn't get boss HP. Boss HP is a very important one to get early. Out of all the locks in the game, you're definitely going to want to get that first. How did that miss? That was weird. Every man I lose, I feel like I'm wasting a bit of time. I'm not gonna get this yet, because this is only an auto attack boost, but the wilder attack areas, it's not something I want to spend my money on this early. The strat is basically just use weaker attacks until we get further. Okay, I'll take out my bags. My bags could sometimes get really trolly, so because we wanted to maximize this art to the maximize damage, we're gonna take it every time we see it. That's like our insta-buy. So Buddy Bakes has probably the highest priority out of regular setups. We have to build that up. Otherwise, it's just going to be really stupid. But anyways, my idea is I basically just use Toxash. Sure, why not? Pick up 1 shell up by much. This early on in the game will be good. Get this, even though we don't have an HP up yet. But still, having the score early is kind of important, so we'll definitely take that. Perfect. Okay, we're taking this now, because that gives us some HP. Yeah, okay, that kind of balanced it out a little bit. Already have both of those. Let's skip that. Do you have a good launch charge? No. Now, my big idea with launch charges is either use them on lucky monsters or use them when there's free, or as a latch ditch effort. Sure. My alien boost is probably gonna help out. Seeing as how we have both of our healers already, we're definitely going to want to maximize this. So the idea is I initially used Toxic Flash to kill the enemies very quick, but come to later battles, I'm going to use other stuff. Now, if you set this up right, this is not a good step. That was scary. So I don't care about any heroes that are not part of my team. I'll just immediately skip them. Unless I see one that is specific, but they are pretty rare though, so when I... Alright, I already have 1 score boost. Honestly, as long as I just had at least 1 score boost, I'll be fine. Now, I didn't get all the boost yet. My idea, by the way, is to just use my nuke to try and kill enemies. I definitely want that. Grabbing that. For single target enemies, I have a little bit of advantage, because I can just nuke them down with Fallaway Elimination Beam. For groups, I'm a bit worried. Okay, I'm definitely taking that. Even though it raises the non-boss starting HP, I don't really care, because bosses, especially the Mobius bosses, are going to be extremely overpowered for their setup. Oh, okay, I forgot to launch charge. That was pretty late on the launch charge, I'm not going to lie. And you can see the big difference with this is that we're going to probably die a lot more often, and we're also going to get held a lot more often. In hindsight, I probably should have put extra attack on someone else, but I didn't set it up properly. You can see how much tougher these guys are getting. Keep in mind this is before that, or we have the specific setup. With the other percent, we don't have nearly as much. Keep in mind also this is only normal mode. This is the weaker of the two modes. I don't want to try and use a launch charge early because it's only round level 20. Even if we have to spend extra money to ride the charge, I will happily take a longer battle. I don't think I've ever gotten this particular... I don't know if this particular power could even appear for a lot of time. I did not know that was a thing. So you can see kind of the risk of the Soul Hacker setup. It's a lot of damage you can put in right away, but then it leaves you with big risk, and on top of it, you have to wait for a very long recharge to come up. So, normally with this setup, Mayabi would probably actually not be bad. Of course, I'm still gonna resist the urge to take the no pawn launch pain. Let's see here. Already got that. I guess part of our problem is we don't have attack up yet, but we're actually getting pretty lucky with the money bank. So you want to max that out first, because that, once we upgrade it, starts getting us 50%. We need to also get a little bit of R&D, which so far we've not actually been getting a lot. Ugh. You see, we need our attack boost and our stuff ASAP. These are both good, though, so we'll take that. We didn't get combo boost as well, so we're lacking a little bit of attack. A lot of this, unfortunately, is going to be random each time. You're not going to get the same setup every time. Ideally, if you get a very specific art combo, you can run this pretty fast, but we're already kind of struggling. And we don't want to use our launch charges until you absolutely need to. One big thing you want to try and do is try to keep every character alive, and that's what my setup is actually built up around, is having 2 tanks for building aggro. That helps our characters to stay alive a bit longer, but we don't get as much use from other attacks later. I'm not gonna get cursed to attack. I feel like I really need the heroes. I will be buying that later, just not right now. The idea with this strat is you kill the enemies before they even get a chance to kill you. But sometimes that doesn't always work. Also, we're getting terrible luck with Lucky Monsters stuff. Ideally, you want lots of Lucky Monster events. Alright, I feel like I need to start canceling more. Sorry if this video ends up taking a bit longer. By the way, if we were going with a different route, Alexander is one of the attackers that we would actually want. She's very strong on the other route, but because she's not easy, we're not going to take her. I will be taking combo duration up, since I was missing that before. Launch charge unusable, doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna get this now. We need to build up our heroes. What we ideally want is, actually, I feel like maybe I should have gotten to kill Whimsy earlier, but there was some other stuff that was needed. Okay. Oh, perfect. There it is. We'll just get that now. And we'll take this, because this will be useful later. Finally got our first Whimsy. an event will occur in the next stage. This is pretty early on, so for those of you who don't know, events are slightly different from other stuff. They are, in this mode, they're slightly different based off of which event that appears. That was not a good event. The chances of a bad event screwing you over are more likely, though, than a good event helping you, though. So that is one big problem that you have to worry about. I'm just gonna launch it, frick it. So you can use launch charges to interrupt attacks, yes, and that's a really nice safety to have, so that's why we're trying to save as many of those as we possibly can. No heroes. Ideally, with most of these battles, if you have the attack, you just want to use a lot of attack setup. However, this is really difficult to do properly. Seeing as how a lot of it is pretty much 100% reliant on getting your attack power. If you're wondering why we built up so many of those other attacks so early on, well, that's because we're gonna be using our first boost here. If you get the no pawn launch just right, you can actually have it to where you never have to worry about actually buying no pawn launch recovery at all, but we're probably gonna have to buy it this next upcoming set. Again, we have to save our money, because money bags. We're getting kind of unlucky here. I think in a different route I saw somebody do, they got a lot better luck and was able to basically immediately use the tap powers. I've not gotten that yet, and I'm about 3 battles in. I know one thing you really want to do is build score up very early on and try to get to that 100,000%, ideally before the battles start getting really rough. But a lot of it, unfortunately, involves using lunge charges to your maximum advantage. Well, I have to take this now, or else I'm going to forget it later. So, there we go. We got money bags maxed out. It was actually surprisingly early on. Problem is, it cost us a little bit of effect. And now you can see the real pain of this battle. So, yeah, because this is done at the last attack setup, yes, we have to fight council jerk faces. Yeah, you have to fight councils. And they are usually cheesed by other stuff, but because we didn't do this properly, we're gonna have a pretty long battle with it. Now you can see why I refilled. We're getting kinda unlucky honestly. Thankfully, to balance this out, I believe you get a lot more points if you can beat them up, but come the next battles, we're gonna eventually start facing these councils ruthlessly. This is the first council we have to face. So that's the big problem, is essentially there's... Thankfully, I actually have a good healing strat, so it's not terrible, but even still, you can see how little damage we're doing. It doesn't help that we didn't really get our characters till 30. A lot of this is random. Sometimes it's possible you might just get very unlucky, in fact. So, for those of you who don't know, this is actually the true difficulty of this mode. And it doesn't matter if you play on easy mode or hard mode. Essentially, the game will eventually get really rough with some of its battles. And if you do not get good RNG, the setup will way through. At first, it was just like, oh, we could easily cheese through it using the right setup and some HP stuff. It was honestly not that bad, but not here. In fact, it's more the opposite, really. We're gonna have to chain attack them early on. It's the only way we can get a consistent setup, but even then, with only 4 people, I think the optimal route involved getting your characters by level 30 or something. Also, this setup is kind of... Yeah, it has a lot of damage early on, but if you can't find your maximum damage, then you kind of get screwed. Marionette again. And yes, the chain attack does build significantly slower than its previous part. It's not easy by any means. See, look, even that nuke did, like, almost nothing. The reason why the other part is slightly better and easier is because, well, normally you have access to a talent art, but with this setup, it's not really that built, this mode, honestly. I honestly feel like I could still win with this setup, but I'm trying this now just to see how far it goes for fun. If I find that this strat will not work, I'm honestly just gonna do the better strategy. To balance this out, I am gonna show this full video no matter what happens, even if this ends up being long. Alright, we're gonna... Don't have transient contact, so we're gonna have to use this. Try and finish him off. I honestly don't care who gets activated, because regardless of what happens, we can just revive them automatically. Yeah. Let's get a fish with Basha if we do that. Yeah, we got kind of an awkward chain here. Annoyingly enough, a lot of your chain here is a bit more harder to do. You see, your strength of your chain is not just based off of a few other things, but it's also based off of whether or not you got lucky with art cooldowns, which we did not. I'm just gonna end this early. There's no point in continuing any further. We just be wasting more time. So yeah, that was a big waste. Yeah, we're gonna die again. I think if I don't complete this battle, I might get a really low start too, because a lot of how you get much things is based on where you go, so if you dive really early on, you don't really get that much score. Finally killed him. That took way too long. And we... Oh. Look at that awful sap. I don't want either of those. Yes, I'll happily take this one. Lowering shop prices, that's gonna help out a lot. Alright, alright. That was really desperate. We really, really need to see a hero store soon. Oh, was this enemy rush? Yeah, I think it was. For those of you who don't know, there's another hidden mode that can sometimes happen in the game, which we did not prepare for, obviously. It's called Enemy Rush. It's a new, well, it basically is exclusive to this game mode. By the way, this is more of a test than an actual run. If I somehow manage to just succeed, I'm gonna be very surprised. We gotta remember, this is the Pro Gauntlet, and I want to intentionally play this with the normal modes. Reason why I was trying the Soul Hacker setup is because I was using this for grinding, because I feel like it might be better. Yeah, we kind of got screwed here. With the other setup, actually this and Full Metal Jaguar have a nice setup where you can actually get around this particular combo. But later on, this particular effect is really deadly. For those of you who don't know, yes, this is Enemy Rush. Essentially, it's a regular battle, but now there's more enemies than usual. This one, all it really does is waste our time, which gets really nasty, and we're already down to a really low time frame. This is actually going to be a nasty waste, because we're going to have to refill our no-pawn watch again. We don't even have any useful tools to use that with. We don't even have slow low-pawn watch yet, which is one of the more useful features. Ugh. And I still don't get anything that I need? You gotta be kidding me. Not bad. Okay. We still got this decently quick, but it's still sort of slow. We need our heroes. That's the big problem. Again. Okay, we got a good setup with that. Unfortunately, a lot of my setup is reliant on that ability, which unfortunately you saw there. Legendary emblems? Frick you. We don't actually want legendary emblems, in case you haven't guessed. You either want the rare shop, so you can get it from other stuff, or you want the hero shop. Oh, perfect. Okay, you don't have to worry about no much right now. You can see how standard this is. We're probably not going to last very long, because once we get the allies' revive charge speed is down, we become really weakened. On top of it, we're already kind of taking longer to launch these enemies to end with anyway. I'd say I probably should have picked up more badges, though the problem is, we have to kind of save some of our things here. By the way, I don't think I have the base HP yet. Well, I guess it may be that, but I don't have the base attack yet. That's a stat that we're still missing. And we still don't have any of our good heroes. Alright, perfect. Saved ourselves. Receive one bunch of launch charge, but lose one shuffle ticket. Yeah, I'll take that. I need launch charges right now. The big way you get score in the first place is Freya launch charge. These enemies are pretty tanky. That was a little bit of a kill on there. Now you can see how bad the setup is. It seems like it initially appears to be a good setup, and I think typically this is better outside of challenge mode. It seems like Soul Hacker can hit damage numbers, but I'm starting to play a bit more, and I'm starting to realize maybe this wasn't so a good idea. Combo to attack is dumb. Let's get this. House speed tweak down is definitely something we're probably going to want more of. I want to try and refresh the hero shop, but we're not getting lucky. You see, you want the Whimsies to give you a hero shop, or give heroes early. But a lot of it is random. By the way, my setup hasn't actually changed for the next setup, and my setup is not going to change to the next strat. The big only difference is I'm going to be slightly switching my class setup and appearance. And I'll actually show doing that in this video only if I die. But we still don't know yet. I do still need some emblems, so that's why I'm actually playing this all the way out. We're already at 30 minutes, by the way. Like I said, this is the slowest mode in the whole game. It takes a very long time to get it, and hindsight, I'm gonna grab this. Forget. We need more attack points right now. We still haven't found the base attack, by the way. We're taking that the moment we see it. This Shooks is one of the most tankiest enemies in the game, and we still do not have the attack boost for it. We haven't been able to use our launch charges successfully because a lot of that is RNG. Basically, we want it. Okay, Transient Bond finished it off, thank goodness. Last release not doing terrible. Oh, there's one of our characters. So I take Reiko and Mana because their break works really well with the topple effect, and there also keeps ending this, so they both get the boost, which is really nice. I'm gonna take one stiff effort since we didn't have it before, and we probably should have gotten it before. That would have actually helped us a lot. That's another really. I don't want to lose a bunch of launch charge, and I don't want to waste a shuffle ticket to shuffle these up, so we're gonna have to use the event. Go on watch defeats faster. That's typically not that big of a deal as you make it feel like. So as long as you can kill the enemy really fast, it's not actually that bad. Ooh. Yeah, cool. We'll just spam transient VOD. See, like, there, it didn't really do that much. Oh, yeah, that's right. We didn't have combo duration up. You can see how important this is. Having combo duration up means your launches last for longer, so it is extremely important. We're probably going to get destroyed by all Friday now, though. Although we do have another character attack set. Okay, I'm going to have to get Ballast Curse now. Honestly, I have to get that right now. I'm not going to survive if I do this other event. By the way, you'll see why we're doing the other fast in a minute. By the way, I might still struggle with the next step. Oh, yeah. Seems like a really late launch charge. Wait a minute, we have an advantage. This isn't a Mobius, so we can potentially still win. It's just a bit risky. The big problem with this strategy is it's not a safe strategy for any means of not dying because you don't get any vulnerability from talent art setups. Heck, Final Countdown's basically useless in a setup because of the way we set up, so we hardly get any talent art uses at all, and even with the tap-powered fist, it doesn't seem like that's very good. I can see why some people now call this only a partially good attacker, not an amazing attacker, and I think I see why. Xeon is coming in clutch though, and you can see why I picked him early. Xeon is really good. Honestly, it doesn't really matter too much. Until all of our characters die, we haven't lost yet. Frigate. I think we need to start picking up their stuff. So, let's see. Emblems. So we have 6 curses, which is good. So now we should have... So we have 12% recharge and 6% of the attack now. So we're now going to want to start picking up unique curses, because each unique one we pick up boosts our damage significantly. Okay, we are gonna now have the last ditch effort bonus as well. Honestly, I probably should have focused on getting that up too. Still no hero shop to refresh my effect rate. This is really dumb. I do want to still save some launch charges. Remember, we want to save at least one for the boss, sometimes even a second one, and some other stuff. And also maybe save a specific moon gem for that. That still did a lot, although it immediately healed back up. Is there a bit more tankier than I remember? Usually they're weaker. And they do have less health, but it just seems like they're taking longer. Alright, these have already kind of gone. We need to start building up our boosts. There, we got rid of the tankium. Don't have to worry about that anymore, thank gosh. Honestly, I feel like I need the recharge right now. Yeah, so every time you fill up the Nopon watch, by the way, you get Nopon watch defeats Plaster again. That might actually be bad now since we lost our ability set. Probably one of the worst problems with this set, and you'll see why it's so bad, is if Noah dies at all, I'm gonna have to chain attack, aren't I, just to survive. I want to at least execute this opponent, because if we're not gonna get any additional bonus, then we're gonna have to just quickly use that, get a KO. This feels like a waste for a chain attack, but when you fall an enemy with a chain attack, you do get a little bit of a bonus, so it's not terrible, and also I just don't want the Nopon launch to defeat. So since I got... Normally I'd just let this play out, but Nopon launch defeat faster actually kind of hurt me there that time. Kind of an unfortunate timing for that one. Really want that for sure, so we're going to get that up a little bit more. You can see we're kind of lacking the damage right now. In an ideal scenario, we would have gotten at least a couple lucky monster encounters, which are random events that can happen. We haven't gotten them come into stage 40 or 45. I'm not sure if they're late or we're just getting unlucky, but that is bad. Honestly, I don't care what happens. I don't care if you think my guys play. Oh, I also say we're also getting unlucky with heroes. Finally, Azura makes her appearance. We want her for a specific reason. She is amazing in chain attacks. If only we had her earlier, that would have been so much better. I'm gonna take the dexterity out of those two badges. Frick it. I know this reduces our score, but I don't care. Right now, we kind of need the immediate damage anyway. Yeah, see, look, that helps us kill that big enemy off much quicker. We have last-ditch effort, so it's probably not going to matter that the Nopon watch might delete itself. Honestly, it's not going to even do anything at first. It's only going to probably actually do something a little bit later. That's cheap enough. We're going to grab that. Sure. When stuff starts getting very expensive, you don't want to grab it anymore. I think that's the mistake I kind of made here. But honestly, this is not really this good of a setup. This doesn't seem like it was actually as built for the fence as possible. I want to kill this Bamara first, I think. Now, I have last-ditch effort, so now it's 140% who should have kicked into play. This is only really a significant impact on the bosses, which we haven't gotten to yet anyway. I normally would buy boss HP. Finally! Oh, it's like the game knew. So, if you're really lucky with the setup, you can kind of play toe-to-toe with the Nopon and get this Nopon watch the pet, which you see. There we go! She's I was starting to worry that we wouldn't get anything. We don't have the damage to kill it, figures. Finally get a lucky monster, and we don't have the damage to kill it. In hindsight, probably should have used that. You can see, by the way, with the other strat that I use, range wouldn't even be an issue anymore. Okay, Frit. We found a selection suddenly huge. We're gonna use our shuffle tickets. We're gonna try and get the hero we want. We did not get him. Whatever, I'll tickle Whimsy a bit more. I'm not gonna boost that yet because it might fall a bit more. Oh wow, yeah, we might just die in air anyway. So randomly in one of these stages as well, you'll get Mobius just randomly appearing out of thin air. I know this is early and they're kind of weak, but like, it's annoying because it just wastes time. So now instead of getting lucky monsters, you can sometimes get Mobius interfering. I initially thought it doesn't get bad until like round 120, but I initially thought this doesn't happen until round 100, but apparently it can happen sooner. Oh! There it is! See, what, like, why? Why wasn't that one appearing? Base attack stat, by the way. That's important stat, and we did not get it. That was so unlucky. That is probably the worst luck we've had in a while. And now we don't even have a launch charge because we had to use it on. Yeah. Oh, we're just gonna try our nuke. Honestly, that could have been worse. We got a third of his health. Now we have to stay in the heal area. Okay, here we go. Azura coming in clutch here. So the big thing about Azura's effect, that is why I'm using it, is Azura launches on her own, so you can actually get the launch without actually using a launch charge, which is honestly not that bad, and pretty good. Anyways, I'm thinking to get through this a bit quicker. Just unload my arts in order every time I get a chance to, and that should slowly come down. Now, if I had my gold points up, hence why I maximized that as soon as possible, we'd have 500%, yes, 500% damage boost right now to all of our attacks. Alright. We almost got this done. Now we just need to wait for the monster damage to appear. By the way, with this next setup, the secondary setup, we would not nearly have to deal with this as problematic. Also, you'd never really see most of these dangerous moves that Chris is doing, because, like, in most of the other setups, well, if you were doing the other setup, you'd be dead. Okay, well, we got A rank at least, which is not bad, all things considered. Alright. Okay, I am going to get this one. Since we have 4 Keevesy now, we want to get this at least once. By the way, I don't actually have all the badge set up for this. A lot of what determines your sets on is if you, the more badges you have built up already for icon, the more, the easier this route is We don't have any of them. By the way, and yes, this isn't hard mode, but this is normal mode. I think I mentioned this before, that I wanted to do all the challenges on normal just because it usually feels a little bit too beginner friendly, and I don't like it. So I'd much rather show off normal mode. Because that way you get to see how hard the challenge actually really is. I swear bad, by the way. Once we get our 100,000 score, it's gonna be so much easier to get through these. But right now, yeah, for this, I'm definitely taking attack up. After what it did to me before, I'm gonna happily wait some extra, to take at least one extra attack up. I think ideally with the scenario, I use the attack up and then just start doing other stuff. I'm gonna choose that team for a different opponent. And yes, like, we're in this for the one haul. For those of you who don't know, there are 140 stages to this madness, and we're only about halfway through all this. Yeah, now you can see how brutal it is. Okay, we're gonna get this. This is really cheap. We need to really get more MC events anyway. What is this? I don't want enemy levels. I'll just take this. I think ideally with that, you get either cursed to attack, or I guess a curse we don't have yet. There are a couple of curses that don't really actually pose much of a threat. You'd initially think that they do, but they're not actually that threatening. Gonna run over here to the generation circle. Gotta remember, a big thing about getting a lot of this setup is not taking any deaths. The idea with the strategy setup, this one and the other one, is you kill the enemies before they even get a chance to kill you, but we keep on failing the strat, so we keep on having them survive longer than we initially anticipate. Alright, there we go. Well, that worked. We still need our last Herald, though. The last Herald isn't as required, but it can be a bit tricky sometimes. Alright, I'm gonna get this now so I boost my other curses. Same for attack up. You want to get exactly one most of the ones that don't much. Okay, we got at least a few enemies there, so that's that. Now you can see why I picked area of effect attack and figuring. I intentionally didn't pick it up, obviously, because I'm doing other stuff, but I am going to start picking it up on the next house. Part of the reason is because this quest doesn't really have the best area attack advantage, so I feel like if I advantage it a bit more. You know what? I'm going to take this. Taking one of those is honestly not terrible because it gives you a random chance to get shuffle tickets. That can be very useful, particularly in the later stuff, and will actually probably save us later. Just barely didn't kill him in time. You can see we're still lacking a lot of the damage. A lot of our damage is heavily reliant on getting that gold no fine coin thing, and I feel like I've also spent too much money already, so I have to just go for it now. We're not getting our hero that we want, though. Okay, that gave me a little bit of time to set up my combo. That accepted. That's a lot of AoE. We might just straight up die. Regular mob, by the way, not a boss. The regular mob enemy might kill us. Gotta kill this weaker enemy off first. Focus started so it dies very quickly. You can see the struggle. Because we're lasting not nearly as long, the no-pawn launch keeps depleting a lot faster because we're in battle for early on time. Ideally, you just rerun for each of these challenges in a matter of minutes. But we didn't get that. I'm not gonna slow down patience. I already am kind of good as it is. It's either I get the 100,000 nines or I don't live until then and I just start dying. Okay, well that was an easy battle, thankfully. For once. This is so cheap, we're gonna get it now. Yeah, higher level enemy levels didn't really do much to those mains. They still died in one hit there. It's starting to take frequent death. The idea is that hopefully we have enough stats to just outright kill them before any of this bullcrap even happens, but we've been struggling a lot. Well, it's too late to go for dodge charges now. Yeah, so I wasted a lot of time. Especially when Noah dies. Noah dying is the worst. Noah dying is literally the worst possible thing that can happen because essentially means that our arts have to start full recharge again. This is freaking annoying. On the next battle, I think I'm gonna have to just use a launch charge either way. I'm taking way too long to take these enemies out. You can see we're really lacking the damage here. With our other strats, we can just cancel a lot of arts really quickly and then just using another talent art and just destroy them because of a different effect that essentially guarantees that we wipe them out. But we don't have that long-term damage here. But you'll see why this is a problem. Eventually, in the next battle, it's going to be a little bit simpler. By the way, this might end up just being a just for fun run than anything, because like, we're already getting really screwed. I kind of expected this, but I didn't expect it to be this hard. Not gonna lie, I expected it to be easier. I did as much badge grinding as I could, but I didn't want to waste too much time, because I do have videos to put out, so I thought I would just go into this now. I always run with Noah because he's my favorite character by far. I think I'm gonna actually even keep using him even with the Seraph build. Even though it does not have the right set with that. I'm just gonna do this. I know it's still a recharge, but we just need whatever we can. Alright. Oh, perfect. Takers. We get higher enemy value now. Thanks, game, for actually throwing me a breather for once. So that got us a little bit of extra points. If we needed to, we could potentially use more, but no, we don't need it. Okay, that got us about a little bit more score. We still don't have Keeve's Prosperity. I probably should have put that up sooner. Gonna have to spend some more no-pawn launch to refill that again. You can see that starts getting really expensive, so you ideally don't want to have to do that at all. Oh yeah, now these Mobius appear again. I think we just chain here. And only fall down, I don't care. This is the best one available. Alright, well, we have a strat set up now here. By the way, this is why we wanted Zera. If we just use her right here, she won't reactivate in the chain attack, but she gives us an automatic amazing, which really helps with our damage multiplier. Ideally, we also got her first in the artwork to get a bit more damage, and that will help us kill this Mobius here, but we didn't get that at all. Okay, we got second right. It's not terrible, but did waste a bit of time. I'm gonna just go for the break attempts here. We get a break full combo at least. We did. That'll save us some time. Oh, hello. We a bit sooner than I wanted. Actually, I didn't want to complete this right away, so I wanted to wait a little bit. Whatever. Whatever, Xeon. Didn't get, another character. I'm just gonna... this one? Alright, I'm gonna have to use our other character next now. Yeah, these other characters are too strong. Right, I'm using yellow now. Okay, this works. Alright, good. Cool. It worked. Ooh, we kind of sniped A as well in the back. That's actually not bad. We might actually make round 70. If we somehow make the S rank quality, having not gotten to rank 40, that'd actually be really good. I launched really late there. If I just launched... nah, this is gonna mess me up. Art name though. That's what I thought that did. I figured that was a Doom effect that it is. I'm gonna move close to my allies so that if he does do anything that's bad, I at least can get revived, right? Now he's invincible. You're seeing a lot of these big moves, by the way, which we normally don't see at all in this mode. At all. The right stuff. Oh, good. Gotta unload my arts now. We got him. Alright. If we actually get the S rank, I'm gonna be very surprised. Getting an S rank after all this. That'd be crazy. We have to take this if we're gonna take it now. Since that's gonna boost our score gain per member. Normally we'd have that up. Oh, I'm just gonna use Wild Blade when they should be right away. Okay, we got like 3 or 4 of them down, but I should die before we can get them off. I will admit, this is a nice survival build setup, although there is one thing I want to change about Xeon, which I still don't think I did yet. You can do this at any point, by the way. And no, by the way, I am not going to be, recording this, by the way, if you're wondering if this is, like, going off. So this may end up being just like the failed attempt. Who knows? Lucky Monsters or Mobius? Ugh, not like we have much of a choice. We have to take this. I hope it's Lucky Monsters. Nope, it's not. Is that a tanky one? I can't tell. We do not have a launch charge this time. I'm just gonna unload my arts on it. See what happens. It's got about 40% of its HP, but not really much. You can see we're starting to really let the damage here. Couldn't even AoE down the Ferrises. Okay, we need to get rid of the weaker enemies. I should have probably done this first. So you can see a big difference. The jump between the normal and pro Gauntlet is big all of a sudden. Like, essentially makes it so that either Mobius visits you, which could just get really annoying. Especially if it's a tanky one. Because they're all different. Because pretty much any Mobius can appear. That's the big thing. Any of the game's Mobiuses that you met from the storyline could appear here. There are a little bit of restrictions though, like apparently N and M will never appear here, but some other ones will. And D and J, and also a little bit of a story where D and J and P together are actually the final bosses of this ultimate mode. Okay, we got him. That took a while. Still haven't found our stronger hero. We're trying to get what's called a hero shop. For those of you who don't know, that's basically a regular shop, except there's a higher chance of spawning into heroes. The reason why we want that is so we can find 7 characters, so we can actually boost up a bit more, and it would help us out a lot with this setup. Yeah. You can see this is being really virile already. Okay, I'm gonna take all of these. They're very cheap. Should've probably took them to begin with. I charge him and take care of this guy. He's gonna help us out come this next out. Oh, bad. Oh boy, another enemy rush again. Kill the Skeeter first because it's harder. Anything else might be actually what kills us. Because it's not. My last setup is not actually balanced with enemy rush in mind. The other one, the art actually just lasts so long that enemy rush literally does nothing. It still will hurt a little bit later. Oh, by the way, I think we are finally done. It's kind of sad, we're just shy of the S rank too. We have to let this fully kill us too. Until we oh my goodness, Azura. Oh, are you still alive? I was about to say, Azura, how are you still alive? We actually got these ranks somehow the first time, which is honestly surprising. And we still got, wow, okay, that was actually not bad. We got a lot of snow pond stones. Well, I'm definitely not using Soul Hacker anymore. But a lot of that was also a bit RNG. You can see, we didn't get our hero stuff. We didn't really get that much lucky monsters either. We just got really unlucky with that for some reason. And now you can see exactly what might happen. Essentially, that's the build crap we have to deal with. If we get unlucky, we can just be completely screwed, and there's nothing we can do about it. Alright, so I want to show you my badge progression since, yeah, I don't have that much stuff upgraded. Ideally, you want all this upgraded. I don't know why this one's upgraded. We're gonna upgrade that to rank 2 for sure. Oh, there's Kevzy Zeal. That's another one I want. I'm gonna get Kevzy Prosperity by rank 1. Actually, no wait. No wait, this charge one might be better. Yeah, I'm gonna take Kevzy Zeal. You'll see why. I'm still gonna be using my similar setup, but I am gonna change things up a bit. So, yeah, obviously I got really terrible luck there, but honestly, that's probably not the setup I wanted to use. So, I'm going to show you the setup I actually want to use. And also, for this specific setup, before I do anything else, I'm going to switch to, you right now, and, replace one of your older accessories with, a memory locket. So, you're going to have, instead of, your base item, on accessories, which is, this. You're gonna instead have the one singular item we picked up later, which was the memory locket. It says, allows reviving allies even with not in a healer role. This actually would have saved us in the last battle if we had added it on. And I didn't fit that one for some reason. But honestly, I probably wouldn't have won anyways, because that's not actually the good setup. So I'm going to show you the really good setup. By the way, I can't use Unlimited Sword because it's a pet, but that's honestly fine, because we don't really need it. So, hang on though, I need to be right back for a minute. This is not to close the video, I just need to check something. Alright. Okay guys. So, now that I've finally done with this setup, I need to actually, show what I'm doing. So, if you want, let's be honest, that mode could probably have worked, honestly. That Slacker strat probably could have worked. But a lot of it is really reliant on RNG, and it's honestly not really that built for this mode. So, realistically, you actually want to use this setup instead. So I'm going to put Elemental Genesis on this setup. To go with that, I'm going to put on Summon Element. If I can find it. There it is. Cross Impact. This is for Power Charge. You'll see why this will be useful in a minute. Infernal Dance, we're going to move over here. We're going to replace our Talon Art with Leveling Fire. Boost damage dealt by 50%, but reduces HP when using arts. This is honestly not a big deal at all, because you can combo with Element Genesis for massive damage. Then Flame Lord and Quick Draw. Quick Draw is like my safety one. This one is basically this one is really important, because Quick Draw has a really fast recharge speed, and if used, can actually evade an art. That'll save us probably in the long run and just make it so that it's much easier to do stuff. I don't know why I have that on the thing. Let's put it in Chronological instead. So anyway, I'm gonna have those set up, and you'll see why in a minute, because Elemental Genesis is actually pretty busted. You'll see. I'll do accessories next, so I'm not confused. One of the setups actually recommended running some kind of attack ring or some other kind of attack setup, but I don't have that, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm gonna just you know, oh yeah, that's right, I have to go to recommend here. I'm gonna use Satori range instead of what they recommended, and then where's the chaperone? I'm gonna look for that in the names. I could probably also go with an accomplish-based item. Gust Spice I could just find later. Sorry if this takes a little while, but I want to show you the setup. So yeah, hindsight, I probably should have thought of this a bit more. This was definitely a fail. Oh, okay, I found it actually. It didn't take too long. It says Shackle Ring. This is a unique accessory. Boost effect of each different art used within a set time. Since we're already going to be using this, and there's actually a secondary effect that boosts this further, having this move might actually be really important. I do not have a better Prevain accessory, so I'm just sticking with Saturni range, which is probably the next best thing. Then, gotta have our good old favorite Gust bracelets, of course. Almost every setup uses this. This is a really good accessory, let's be honest. Alright, and now we have, this next up is going to be really interesting. Swell Best Lane, this, is, I think, specifically for boosting our elemental effects and, I guess, our other buffs. Empowered Combo, which I didn't even have. I see now I was losing a lot of damage. Because this is a whopping 75% damage increase, and I was missing that in my setup. Anyway, so we have all of that now. Oh yeah, there's one more thing now. Skills. I think there's only one that I think I've missed so far. And that is... I'm trying to look for it now. Ultimate Kion? Hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to look at this video. Okay, this one actually wants us to use Cypher Edge, so I guess I'll do that. Even though this doesn't seem to work as good, I feel like this could work really well. You'll see soon, though, this is one of the most busted setups in the whole game, and unlike the previous setup, this one actually does work in battle. So... yeah, so for those of you who don't know, this is the ultimate Seraph build. I mentioned this a couple of times, but now I actually want to show this off. You can do this on any class in the game to be efficient, although I think this is technically more efficient on an Agnian themselves, because then you can use other boosts to make it even stronger. But I want to show that it can be done with basically anyone. Alright, now that dumb fetch is done, not going to be chain attacking in this round, so I think I'm just gonna put on the character and save it. So I want to kind of show this off, so we're gonna do one of the hardest battles. Maybe not necessarily a tough one, maybe I'll just do this on easy, just to show what it can do. But we're gonna go back into, you know, that dangerous battle, Heroes Frontline? We're gonna do that again, but you're gonna see that we're gonna completely destroy these. And you can see why this setup is really busted. You don't even need a lot of bonuses to kill a lot of enemies, but I want to show you how effective this is. So effectively, this set relies on using Elemental's Genesis to just do absurdly busted damage. And to save a little bit of time, I'm going to show you what the full combo looks like. So we do that, and then use Elemental Genesis. And yeah, about 50% of their health just got removed in a matter of minutes. And it doesn't take long to get back either if you know the right strat. In fact, much later on, this will be really fast to get in. And every time you use this, and because we don't have a move that removes our elements, we can just use this to destroy all of the enemies. So the idea is get Element Genesis up. And also, you can boost it based off of other different arts. So if you just do this instead of using other different arts used in a set time, then it technically counts as a different art. And see, now I'm going to use Genesis again. And see, just look at that. Even with the bad setup, most enemies are already losing about 50% of their life in a matter of minutes. You can see why this strat might be incredibly busted, because, like, this is a really good AoE. As you can see, very few enemies can actually escape it. And on top of that, you always get 2 elements that you can use. So as long as you can keep them around, those elements can then start doing a lot of damage. Yeah, hopefully we just kill Monica outright. Okay, we didn't get her yet. So I'm gonna use this weaker art so we can keep the chain going. There is a chain of arts used in a set time. Now watch this. Yeah, see, look at that. In a matter of minutes, most of the enemies are already dead. And before they can even do anything, we already have Elemental Genesis up again, so we can just do that same thing again. And there we go. We turned what is normally a much longer battle, given it was easy mode, but we turned what was normally a 6-minute battle in our previous setup into just a 2-minute battle. That's how overpowered this strat is. And now you can see, with all the damage boost, this mode, this strat, is basically almost a hard requirement. Once you get this strat set up, you can pretty much destroy this mode. In fact, I think this is actually the strategy you want to use in challenge mode only. You can technically run an alternative setup, but like, Seraph looks like it was built for this mode. So if you're wondering what really caused this, most of this is in a skill. So this one's just a little bit of extra damage, but the big thing is boost damage dealt when HP is at 85% and lower, so that's an automatic increase since we're going to be losing health whenever we use our abilities. Greatest Warrior, which boosts damage for every enemy in battle, which there's going to be a lot in challenge mode. And Universal Annihilation boosts damage dealt to topple and launch targets by 150%, which we're definitely going to have active because we are launching a lot in challenge mode. So, with all these buffs, Element Genesis will basically just destroy most of our enemies. In fact, it's so busted we can use it at the start of battle. So, this setup basically will allow us to one-hit kill every single mob battle in challenge mode in a matter of minutes. It is incredibly busted how stupidly busted this challenge strat is. Honestly, since I wasted a lot of time, I don't want to waste no time, so sad to say we're not going to actually see this appear in the run, but I'm going to save the episode right here and call it quits. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video where we maybe attempt this again. Until then, peace.